Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing Network. Today, we will bring you 20 fast laps in the Fanatec Rookie Street Stock Series from Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's have a look at the starting grid. Starting in 18th spot in car number 17, it's Stephen Porter in the Preppy Pirate Outfitters Chevrolet. Stephen from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Starting in the 17th spot in car number 5, the ME Chevrolet of Don Larson. Don racing out of New York State. Starting in the 16th spot in car number 6, it's Billy Wayne Howard from California. Starting in the 15th spot in car 15, from the Emerald Isle, North Carolina, it's William Scott. Starting 14th in car number 8, Thomas Kurtz in the DuPont Chevrolet from the Carolinas region. Starting 13th in car number 18, it's Quinlan Defoe from Canada. Starting 12th in car number 1, racing out of Salisbury, New Brunswick in the Copenhagen Chevrolet, that's J.R. Seeley. Starting 11th in car number 7, from Canada, the Labatt A.B. Romange Chevrolet of Steve Bouvet. Starting 10th in car number 3, he did not make the starting grid in time, so he'll start from the pits. It's Michael Smith from the United Kingdom and Ireland region. Starting 9th in car number 9, the Street Stock Nationals Chevrolet of Andrew Ford, Andrew from Canada. Starting 8th in car number 4, racing out of Louisa, Virginia, that's Derek Donovan. Starting 7th in car number 11, racing out of the Benelux region, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, it's Martin Strathoff. Starting 6th in car number 13, racing, actually we don't have a location on car number 13, that's Shelley Taylor. Starting 5th in car number 2, racing out of Statesville, North Carolina in the Hot Hands Chevrolet, it's Stephen Pfeiffer. Stephen will show up on your telemetry as car number 2 on your screen as the Hot Hands number 13. Starting 4th in car 14, the South Park Chevrolet of Alexis Buffet. Alexis Buffet. Alexis from Alsace, France. In the 3rd starting spot, in car number 10, racing out of California in the Lightning McQueen tribute car of Yumeng Tang. In the 2nd spot, the front row outside, in car number 12, the Dr. Pepper Chevrolet of Antonio Lorenz. Antonio racing out of Frankfurt, Germany. And finally, starting on the pole, in car number 16, the Whiz Airlines Chevrolet of Jacob Johnson. Jacob racing from Conifer, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, the Johnson iRacing Network is pleased to bring you today's feature on behalf of the Johnson iRacing team. Current team members include Aaron Johnson, Joe Johnson, Aaron Kane, Caleb Gillick, and in car number 16 on the pole, Jake Johnson. This race was recorded and is a delayed break broadcast, so this is not a live feature event. The pace car leads the field down the back straightaway. Johnson in the hot pink and purple Whiz Airlines car. To his outside, the 12 of Antonio Lorenz from Germany. Antonio on the outside in the Dr. Pepper Chevrolet. Just behind them, Yumeng Tang from California, Alexis Buffet from France. Truly an international field here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The pace car leads them through 3 and 4. At any moment, we expect the pace car should take to the infield. The Fields comes out of turn number 4. The pace car's in. Johnson hammers the throttle. The green flag's out. Jake Johnson on the inside. The 12 of Antonio Lorenz on the outside, followed by Tang and Buffet. Johnson takes a quick early lead as they go by the start-finish line. Lap number 1 of 20 is underway at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jake Johnson takes the lead down into turn number 1, followed by the 12 of Lorenz, then the 10 of Tang. Behind Tang looks like really the 2 of Pfeiffer, and on the outside, the 14 of Buffet. Up front, it's Jake Johnson with the lead, followed by Lorenz, Tang, Buffet. They're 2 by 2, about 3 cars back, but Johnson and Lorenz out of the fray at this point in time. Jake Johnson leads the field through the center of 3 and 4, now out of 4 onto the front straightaway. They head into the tri-oval with Jake Johnson in the lead. At the end of lap 1, Jake Johnson will lead, followed by the 12 of Lorenz, the 3 of Tang, then the 2 of Pfeiffer, and the 14 of Buffet. Really, it looks like about a 10-car lead pack as these top 10 have separated themselves from the rest of the field. It is Jake Johnson out front. A small gap forming in the back. Let's hop in with the 9 of J.R. Seeley. Seeley toward the end of this lead pack. Seeley in 9th place. The 10th place car is the 1 of J.R. Seeley now. And in 10th, no, Strayhoff must have had some kind of trouble. Martin Strayhoff fallen back quickly. So it will be, looks like Steve Bouvet. And then the DuPont Chevrolet, they're about 12 cars running in this lead pack. Let's go back up front with the 16 of Jacob Johnson. Johnson, followed by Lawrence, then Yumeng Tong. Buffet to Yumeng Tong's outside. Buffet's made his way around the 13 of Stephen Pfeiffer. Behind them, the 4 of Derek Donovan. Johnson leading, followed by Lawrence, then Tang, Buffett, Pfeiffer, and Donovan. The field beginning to stretch out just a bit here as Jake Johnson holds a nice, steady, smooth line down on the bottom of the racetrack. Johnson, followed by Lawrence, Tang, and Buffet. Behind Buffet will be Stephen Pfeiffer. Buffet continuing to run that high line. Alexis Buffet running up high, working forward, trying to get that high line to work. The first 3 cars are nose to tail. The 16 of Johnson, the 12 of Lawrence, the 10 of Tang. Behind them, the 14 of Buffet looks to the outside of the 10 of Tang. No dice at this point in time. As we complete lap number 4, Jake Johnson continues to lead. Johnson holds the lead through 1 and 2 as they exit turn 2 and head out onto the back straightaway. A little bit of contact. That throws the DuPont Chevrolet into the wall. Also looks like it might have collected the 6 of Billy Wayne Howard. It did indeed. Howard taking a wild ride on the wild side here at Charlotte. Back up front, it's still Jake Johnson with the lead. No cautions in these rookie street stock races. If you happen to get in an accident, your race is done. Up front, Jake Johnson with the lead, followed by the 12 of Lawrence, then the 14 of Alexis Buffet, really trying to make that outside line work. Buffet moves forward and noses past the 10 of Tang. Doesn't have quite enough speed to be able to get down onto the low line. Jake Johnson continues to lead. The action between the 10, the 13, which shows up on your telemetry as the 2. They're 3 wide now. Now back down to 2 wide as the 10 of Tang looks up. The 13 gets underneath. There's contact between the 13 and the 10. Tang going to take a wild ride. That takes Tang, the 9 of Andrew Ford involved. It also looked like the 4, which is the 13 of Stephen Pfeiffer involved. Derek Donovan also involved. Let's go back up front. Jake Johnson has lost the lead. The 12 of Antonio Lawrence manages to get underneath Johnson, goes by and takes the lead here on the back straightaway on lap number 7 of 20. It's Lawrence on the inside, Johnson on the outside. The 14 of Alexis Buffet has worked his way to the front. Alexis also on the inside line. Looks like Buffet's going to have position on Johnson as they come past the start-finish line to complete lap number 7. 7 laps into the books. It is Antonio Lawrence, Alexis Buffet, and Jake Johnson. It's a significant distance back to the 13 of Shelley Taylor. Taylor running 4th. Behind Taylor is Steve Bouvet. Bouvet running in 5th. Bouvet in that 7 car. So it's a 3-car breakaway for the lead with a big distance because of some accidents back to the rest of the field. Let's hop back up front. Jake Johnson has got a fender underneath the 14 of Alexis Buffet. Johnson takes the 2nd spot as they cross the start-finish line. We begin lap number 9 of 20 with the 12 of Antonio Lawrence with about a 6-car length lead over the 16 of Jake Johnson. The 10 car of Yumeng Tong makes his way out of the pits back onto the front straightaway. Tong, a significant number of laps down. Looks like Tong is 2 laps down in this 20-lap race. Out. That's Tong, who has just come into the picture. Out front, it's the 12 of Antonio Lawrence, followed by the 16 of Johnson, then the 14 of Alexis Buffet. If you're unfamiliar with iRacing, When the computer selects your number is based on your iRating, which is an estimate of your skill and ability. The person who is car number 1 has the highest iRating. The person who is car number 18 has the lowest iRating. Right now, positions 12, 16, 14, 13, and 15 are the top 5. So it is the drivers that have the lowest iRatings that are beneficiaries today. Out front, Antonio Lorenz continues to lead Jake Johnson. Lorenz holding on to the lead as they come out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. They'll take the halfway mark this time by. We've completed 10 of 20 laps, and at the halfway point, it's Antonio Lorenz with the lead. Jake Johnson looks to the high side, now snuggles back in behind the 12 of Lorenz, taking advantage of that draft, the 14 of Alexis Buffet. A little bit behind Johnson, but close enough to also benefit from the draft. Out front, it is Lorenz, followed by Johnson's, then Buffet. Those 3 cars well ahead of the rest of the field. Antonio Lorenz in that Dr. Pepper Chevrolet holds the low line. Johnson stays right next to him. Johnson looks to the inside as they come out of turn number 4. Thinks better of it as they come into the tri-oval. The track narrows there at the end of lap number 11. It's still Antonio Lorenz with the lead, followed by Johnson, Buffet, Taylor, and Scott. Let's take a look at this second pack, see where the 13 of Shelly Taylor is. The 13 of Taylor well behind these leaders. Behind Taylor, it will be the 15 of Scott. Taylor trying to catch up. I mean, Taylor, it looks like they've gained just a little bit. Shelly Taylor with a pretty good race car, maybe closing in on this lead pack. If the leaders will battle side by side, that could allow Shelly Taylor to close. Behind Taylor, it's the 15 of Scott, a significant distance back of the leaders. Then a couple of lapped cars before we make our way back to the 7 here of Stephen Bouvet. Out front, though, it is still Antonio Lorenz with the lead. There are 8 laps to go. Johnson looks to the inside of Lorenz again. Nothing doing as Lorenz closes the door. Lorenz 2 wheels on the blue line. Johnson following closely behind. The 14 of Alexis Buffet appears to be content to allow these 2 to race it out. Johnson looks to the outside of the 12 now. Jake Johnson takes a peek to the outside of the 12 of Lorenz. No dice. That allows the 14 of Alexis Buffet to close in. And the 13 of Shelly Taylor continues a relentless march toward the front. Taylor closing on the lead pack. Shelly Taylor only about 6 car lengths behind the 14 of Alexis Buffet. It's getting ready to be a 4-car race here at Charlotte. Johnson gets a fender to the inside of the 12, backs off the 12, back down onto the blue line. Antonio Lorenz with the lead. Jake Johnson second. 7 to go. There will be 6 to go this time by. Johnson trying to find a way to get position on the 12 of Antonio Lorenz. Johnson looks to the inside of Lorenz as they come across the start-finish line. Jake Johnson tries to get a fender to the inside. Lorenz holds him off. Coming into turn number 1, there it's a 4-car battle as the 13 of Shelly Taylor has closed on this lead group. Antonio Lorenz with the lead, followed by Johnson. The 14 of Alexis Buffet working the outside. The 13, Johnson looks like he's got inside of the 12. Jake Johnson with position. They're 3 wide going into turn number 3. And Jake Johnson on the bottom, 14 of Buffet on the top. Johnson's going to take the lead. The 12 closes the door on the 13, gets himself sideways. Looks like the 12 is going to hit the wall hard here. No damage to the 13, but the 12 of Antonio Lorenz is out of this race. Jake Johnson leads with 5 to go. It is Jake Johnson up front, followed by the 13 of Taylor, then the 14 of Alexis Buffet. The 12 of Lorenz no longer in contention after that little accident. Down the back straightaway, 5 to go. Jake Johnson with a small lead. The 13 of Shelly Taylor looks to the high side, tries to get a run down off the banking. Johnson holds the car down low. The 13 of Shelly Taylor closes now to within just a few feet from the back bumper of Jake Johnson. 13 looks to the outside. Johnson on the inside. They come to the start-finish line. There'll be 4 to go this time by. Johnson leads by a car length. Jake Johnson leads the field into turn number 1. It's Johnson, Taylor, and the 14 of Alexis Buffet. Taylor working on the outside. A little bit of internet lag causing the cars to flicker. Jake Johnson holds the blue line. Taylor looks underneath. The 14 of Alexis Buffet closing on these lead cars. Johnson holds the low line. The 13 of Taylor looks to the outside. No dice. Taylor trying to use the banking to get just a bit of a run. Comes out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. It's going to be Jake Johnson, Shelly Taylor, and Alexis Buffet. Johnson leads with 3 to go. There are 3 to go this time by. Jake Johnson holds the lead, followed by the 13 of Taylor, the 14 of Buffet. Taylor looks to the high side again. Now uses the banking to get a run out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Taylor trying to find his way around the 16 of Jake Johnson. Johnson leads them into turn number 3. Taylor looks to the outside. The 14 of Buffet goes with Taylor. No dice. Johnson stays on that blue line. The 13 of Shelley Taylor taking a look to Johnson's outside. Taylor trying to get a run to Johnson as they go past the start-finish line. At the line, it's Jake Johnson again by a car length. The 14 of Alexis Buffet now moving in to mix it up with the leaders. Buffet had been biding his time, waiting for the end of the race. There are 2 to go. No better time than the present. 2 laps to go. Jake Johnson with the lead, followed by the 13 of Taylor, then the 14 of Buffet. There's a little bit of an incident there with the 7 of Steve Bouvet. Bouvet has had some kind of an accident. The 13 up high now looks to the outside of Jake Johnson as they come into turn number 3. The 13 using the banking to get a run, closing onto the back bumper of Jake Johnson as they come out of turn number 4. 13 closing to within a couple of feet now. They're at the start-finish line. This time by, it's going to be Jake Johnson by a fender. There's 1 to go. They take the white flag. Jake Johnson leading. The 13 of Shelley Taylor on the outside. The 14 of Buffet behind these 2. Johnson on the inside, Taylor on the outside as they go through turn number 2. Now come out onto the back straightaway. Jake Johnson continues to lead. The 13 up high. The 14 goes with Johnson. It's going to be Buffet and Johnson drafting together. The 13 trying to pick up some draft from the lap traffic. Johnson and the 13 side by side in turn number 3. Jake Johnson takes a small lead. The 13 tries to get the side draft. Johnson, a wiggle. The 13 slides up the racetrack. Johnson wiggles just a little bit as they come out of turn number 4. They're coming into the start-finish line, and at the flag, it's going to be Jake Johnson with a win. The 2 cars touch. A big crash as they cross the start-finish line. Jake Johnson with a victory, followed by the 13 of Shelley Taylor, then the 14 of Alexis Buffet. In the 4th spot, William Scott, followed by Martin Strathoff in 5th. Antonio Lorenz will finish 6th. Stephen Pfeiffer, 7th. Stephen Porter, 8th. Steve Bouvet, 9th. It's the 3 amigos, followed by Quinlan Defoe in the 18, rounding out the top 10. The 16 car of Jake Johnson continuing to spin around in the infield as a big crash at the finish of this race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It doesn't get much better than that, ladies and gentlemen. The nice thing about iRacing and about sim racing in general is that there are no injuries, and all you need to do is press a button to fix that race car. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.